Welcome to Lincoln County Living, the podcast where we keep it real, keep it local, and maybe even keep it a little awkward sometimes. I'm your host, Nicholas Hall, and every week we dive into the stories, tips, and laughs that make Lincoln County the best place to live, work, and play. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lincoln County Living. I'm Nicholas Hall, realtor, content creator, and your guide to Lincoln County. This is the very first episode of Lincoln County Living, and I'm very excited to get this kicked off and get this started. It's going to be something truly special. And I want to take the first episode and talk to you about what the podcast is and who I am and introduce myself to those who don't know me. So let's go ahead and jump right in. What is the Lincoln County Living? To put it simply, it's a podcast for the people, by the people. And what does that mean exactly? It means that you can tune in here each week to find local interviews with business owners, professionals, leaders, community members, and so much more. And it's going to be a place for you to find real estate tips, local guidance, local gyms, and overall what makes Lincoln County the incredible place that it is. This podcast is designed for people that live here, people that have just moved here, or people that are thinking about calling this place home. Lincoln County is a beautiful and vast landscape, and it's a beautiful and vast size. Okay, this is a very big county, and I want to cover everybody. I have the next few episodes lined out. Coming up next week, I have an interview with Danny Alpers with Gateway Mortgage. She's a loan officer. Great episode. We already recorded it, but it's going to be a great episode. Lots of information. And then I'm also going to be talking with Katie Thornton with the Humane Society of Lincoln County and talk about the importance of adopting rather than purchasing and helping those dogs find good homes and those cats and other animals find good homes. So we have a lot that's going to go on here. This podcast is I'm hoping this podcast is going to grow and reach listeners from the surrounding areas too. You know, I'd like to say that Lincoln County and the area surrounding it, being New Mexico, doesn't get the attention it deserves. We often get forgotten about. And it is a beautiful state. So I want to be the one to give it the big shout out that it deserves and really bring New Mexico and Lincoln County on the map and really showcase what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about myself for a moment. Not going to make it too long. Don't want to sound like I'm overly interested in myself. But I'm Nicholas Hall. I'm a local realtor. I'm a content creator. And I'm your guide to Lincoln County. And you're going to hear that a lot because I truly love the area that I live in. I graduated from Capitan High, once a Tiger, always a Tiger, and I've lived in the area for quite a bit of time now. I have a wife. Her name's Lily. She's also my business partner. We'll eventually get her on the podcast as well. I have 3 awesome children. We got Diego, Micah, Violet. We have 2 dogs, 2 cats, a bunch of chickens, you know, just the normal country lifestyle. In my off time, I like to compete in Scottish Highland Games events. You might ask, what is that? What the heck are you talking about? To put it simply, it's a bunch of people wearing kilts, throwing heavy stuff. Let's just put it that way. We'll probably end up talking about it at some point in the podcast, so I won't bore you with the details. I also have my culinary arts degree. What does that have to do with this podcast, you might ask? Absolutely nothing. I just like to brag about it. And I'm very excited for what this podcast could become. Very excited for the interviews and showcasing our community and really showing Lincoln County and the incredible place that it is. And we have so much coming up. The New Year's coming, Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas is coming, and I just want to start something new, something fresh, and something for people to enjoy. So I guess that's going to wrap up really the first episode of the Lincoln County Living. It's nothing special, short and sweet. It's going to cover, you know, what the podcast kind of is, who I am, and we'll learn more about both of those as the podcast evolves, right? So we're going to be putting this on all platforms. We're going to have it on Spotify, Apple. We're going to have it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere that we can put this podcast, you're going to find it. Or at least we're going to hope that we can put it across every platform that we possibly can. Without further ado, I'm your host, Nicholas Hall of the Lincoln County Living Podcast. Make sure that you follow, subscribe, do whatever it is that you got to do on the platform that you're listening in on, and I'll see you next week. You've been listening to Lincoln County Living, where we keep it real, keep it local, sometimes keep it awkward. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and come back next week. Until then, stay awesome, Lincoln County.